Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining me. Now in this class, we're going to invert your world. That's right, we're going to get upside down. I thought we introduced some inverted postures. That means we're going to be extending our legs up into the air over our hearts, so we'll be literally upside down. Very therapeutic way to practice yoga because we're always standing or sitting, and so just to invert things. It's a wonderful way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system to help us calm down. So some things we'll need to be working on for this practice is core strength. You wouldn't think you would need core strength to extend your legs into the air, but you do. And we'll also do some leg stretching too. And we'll do a simple guiding into a posture that's called shoulder stand with some variations. So one of the things that you'll need for your variated shoulder stand posture is either a couple of blocks like this that you can stack, or a firm cushion, because this will actually give a little bit more support with a little bit of softness too. So I think I'll be using my bolster when I do demonstrate the pose. Alrighty, let's get started. So we like to begin in a seated position, sitting up nice and tall, and of course I am sitting on a blanket. You may want to have that as well. Start with a few deep breaths. Nice full breath in, filling up your lungs. Exhale. Again, nice full breath in. Really feel that expansiveness in the chest and heart. Exhale to completion. Very nice. And just continue with slow, steady breaths here. You can do this with your eyes opened or closed. If they're opened, you might just gaze downward at the floor and just let your eyelids soften, or just simply close your eyes. Tune into your breath. Pay attention to each inhale and each exhale. Breathe in a way so that you can hear your breath. So if your breath is a little soft, just turn up the volume of your breath so you can hear it. Each inhale and each exhale. As you breathe in, just feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine. Fill up your lungs, very expansiveness up top. Now, when you exhale, as you're able, draw your belly button in towards your spine. This is the beginning of our core work. We just want to establish a connection with our center body. So again, inhale, feel the lengthening of spine, breath rising to fill your lungs. Exhale, draw belly button in. This is the abdominal lock. It's a light contraction of the abdominal muscles. It really allows us to sit up nice and tall, engaging here. It's going to be the same when we start to extend our legs into the air. Your ab muscles will kind of naturally engage, but we want to be aware of that sensation. One more time. Breathing in, filling up your lungs. Exhale, light contraction of the abdominal muscles, engaging the abdominal lock. Let's begin our moving meditation. Very simply, inhale, extend your arms out and all the way up, reaching with good effort towards the ceiling. And exhale, extend the arms out as if you're going to touch the walls, and then right back down to your side, finishing that full round of breath. Let's do it again. Inhale, reaching out, touch the walls, touch the ceiling, reach high. Exhale, reaching out and back down. Now we're still paying attention to that sensation of breath and engaging the abdominal lock. So as you inhale, arms go out and up. Feel the lengthening of spine, fill up your lungs. Exhale, reaching out with the arms. Although they're coming down, you're drawing belly button in towards spine, which allows the breath to stay up high. You stay lifted up. Inhale, reaching into the air. Good energy in your hands and fingers. Good. Exhale, reaching out and down, engaging your core. Good. Just continue on your own for a few more breaths. paying attention to all these wonderful sensations in your body. Moving at your own pace. Take your time with these movements and your breath. Very good. Finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more breaths. And when you're complete, just take your time. Just bring your arms down, let them rest, either just by your side or on your legs. And just notice that relief in the body as you come back to stillness. Still sitting up nice and tall, let's move into a mild back bend. Let's bring the hands behind us here. Just prop yourself up onto your fingertips. Feel the shoulders and arms kind of naturally pull back. I really enjoy doing this because it really helps to open up in this area where the shoulder begins to attach to the pectoral muscles, because this is an area that can get tight because our arms are typically forward. So we're taking it back. So a nice counter movement, just as we are moving into inverted postures today, something that's opposite from standing and sitting. So hands behind you, roll the shoulders back to open up the chest, and just to tip the chin up to open the heart a little bit more. This is our starting posture. Now inhale and just press into the floor with your fingers. Feel energy shoot up the arms. As you breathe in deeply, feel that expansiveness across the chest. Exhale. We're still engaging the abdominal lock, so draw belly button in towards spine. Again, inhale, press into the ground. Fill up the lungs. Exhale, pull belly in. And as you're able, squeeze shoulder blades together behind you, as if you're trying to bring the shoulders behind you to try to touch each other, or just try to touch the spine. 2 more breaths. Very engaging. You'll have a lot of sensation here. And after that second breath, just lower your chin. Walk your hands forward. Rise up, and then you can bring your arms around to the front. And just come back to stillness. Take a breath. While we're still seated, let's go ahead and start our leg extension. So I'm going to scoot back a little bit and extend the legs, just so we can start to feel the stretch in the legs and also what's happening in the core. I'm just going to sit on the edge of my mat, or my blanket actually, because it actually tips my pelvis just a little bit, so it creates a more of a natural curve in my spine or my low back, my lumbar area, so I can sit up nice and tall. As you're able, straighten the legs completely, but it is okay to have a slight bend in the knees. I'm going to go ahead and straighten my legs. Do flex your feet. They'll just energize the legs. You'll feel some engagement in your thighs. Hands right by your hips, and just push into the earth to lift the torso. It's just like when we had the hands behind us, we push down to lift up. So we'll have that same sensation here. Roll shoulders back, feel shoulder blades squeeze together, nice long neck. Your direction of your gaze is forward. This is staff pose. So a nice L shape in the body. Active straight legs, active lengthened spine. All right, so what's happening with breath is the same as we did earlier. Inhale, just feel the lifting and lengthening of spine and fill up the lungs. Nice expansiveness in the chest. Exhale, engage your core body. Pull belly button in. You're going to feel the contraction here. Strong legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen, fill lungs. Exhale, engage. Now, remember this sensation, because we're going to actually be doing this pose lying on our backs with the legs in the air. Okay, so that'll be part of our inversion practice. 2 more breaths. Good. Go ahead and soften here. All right, let's go ahead and bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, and we're ready for our forward fold. So we did a little back bend. We sat up nice and tall. Now we'll fold forward. Let's inhale, continue that lengthening of spine. On this exhale, start to hinge forward, leading with your heart and chin. Just a little bit here. You can hold for a moment. You're going to start to feel a stretch or release in the inner legs. Inhale, more extension of spine. I'm trying to lift up. Exhale, still engaging core and hinging forward. Now, engaging our core body also supports the body not only in stillness, but also in movement. I'm low enough here to scoop up my toes, so I'm just going to hold here for a moment. This feels to be the right place for my body. I can maintain the lengthened spine. I feel a nice stretch, easy release in the inner legs. Now, of course, you can lower your chin and round your back to go a little lower if you would like to today. I'm just going to stay here. 3 more breaths. Very nice. To come back up, if your back is rounded and your chin is down, start by lifting the chin. So maybe you're looking out past the front edge of your mat. That will start that re-extension of spine. And if you need to, place your hands on your mat to help press to lift yourself up until you're nice and tall. And then just hold here for a moment. All right, let's come to hands and knees. This is where your blanket or a towel or even a doubled up mat will come in handy. So I like to use my blanket here. Let's unfold it. So I've got a good rectangle. So I can place knees at one end and hands at the other. Right here, nice tabletop posture. Here we go. Inhale, tip the chin up, look forward, a little arch of the back, creating a back bend. This feels really nice. Exhale, let's tuck the pelvis under. Feel the curvature of the spine. Belly button is still pulling towards spine. A nice rounded back body. Feels good, chin to chest. Then reverse it. Inhale, tip the pelvis back. Now the belly will drop so that core engagement kind of relaxes, it releases. There's the back bend. Heart opener, look forward. Exhale, tuck it all under. Round the spine, engage your core. Just continue to move through these 2 poses, cat and cow, and feel the undulation of the spine as well as the rocking of the pelvis. Now I'm going pretty slowly here, but you can move at your own breath pace. Even feel free to add some other movements as it feels good. Whatever comes intuitively to you. That could be some circles with the hips. If you go in one direction, be sure to go in the other direction. What I like to do is kind of sit the hips out to the side. I tend to get tight right through here in the outer hips. And so just a gentle hip shift to the side feels really nice for me. And wherever you are, whether you're in motion or if you're just holding in stillness, be sure that you are breathing. Let's take 3 more breaths. And when you're complete, just come back to a neutral tabletop posture. Just pause here for a moment. Make sure you're looking directly down between the thumbs. That way your neck is long and neutral. All right, let's get set up for our next pose. Let's crawl off our pad. We'll set it to the side. And return here to hands and knees. Now, if your hands are situated underneath the shoulders, let's move them. We're going to step the hands forward, just out from underneath the shoulders, spreading out the fingers so you get a stretch between each finger. And lean into the hands. Press so your hands, your palms open up. They get a nice stretch too. Strong, straight arms as your hands press down. Let's do another cat-cow, but first tuck your toes. Inhale, cow. That's the back bend. Exhale into cat. Pull belly button up towards spine. That's our engagement because we're moving, lifting the knees, sending the hips into the air, up and slightly back as the chest naturally sinks. I like to step forward a little bit to adjust my pose and take my hands a little wider and relax the head. Now we can really consider this pose an inverted posture. Since our head is down,
It's just not a complete inversion since the feet are still on the floor. Let's start with the pedaling of the feet. Press one heel down as the other heel lifts, and then alternate. So you can feel maybe a stretch in your calves as well as your toes. Maybe one more on each side. And then take a few steps to the center of your mat or until your feet are flat on the ground. And if you need to, just slide your fingertips towards your toes. Here's a forward fold. But we're going to rise up halfway. So inhale and slide your hands up to your shins or knees. Pause here until you're parallel to the floor, or as best as you can feel in your own body if you're not using a mirror. Now, my feet are really rooted into the floor, grounded, solid, connected. Slight bend in the knees. I can feel the engaged legs here. And as best as I can, I'm feeling this lengthening through the entire torso, imagining an energy moving through the top of the head, moving forward, and an energy moving through my hips and tailbone to the back of the room. I'm going to place my hands on thighs, push into thighs as I lift up just a little bit here. You even feel like I'm sitting down into a chair. So this is almost a chair pose. Still very strong in the legs. Keep pushing into thighs to straighten the legs until you are tall. Let's continue getting taller by extending the arms into the sky, breathing in, and then the exhale to bring the arms back down. Very nice. If you like, a little roll of the shoulders. So here's our first standing posture. Remember, this is where we are usually, but we're going to be turning upside down. So let's just be aware of what's happening here. Feet, of course, are on the floor, rooted into the ground. Breath rising, fill the lungs. Exhaling, draw belly in to engage the abdominal lock. Very nice. Let's move through our half salute to the sun. That means we're going to be extending the arms up, forward folding, and coming right back up. Here we go. Inhale, extend the arms into the sky. Big stretch. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, and feel as if you're sitting back into a chair that's behind you. Let the arms come down. Now your belly and chest are coming down towards your thighs. And just release down to the earth. If you can, look between your knees towards the wall behind you. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, and pause when you're halfway up. Same thing. I'm situating my balance, so I have that strong connection into the earth with my feet. Same bend in the knees, long torso. Bring hands to thighs. I am shifting my weight into the heels a little bit, pressing into thighs to rise up to about 45 degrees. Here's my chair pose. Keep pressing into thighs to assist the body into full standing. And get that full length of body by reaching into the air with both arms. Inhale. And exhale, arms return down to your side. Very nice. Okay, let's continue with our standing postures. We like to do a variation of Warrior One. So we start in mountain pose, balanced on 2 feet. Let's start with soft knees. Start shifting your weight into your right foot. Feel the action and energy in that right leg. I'm leaning forward a little bit. I can feel my right set of toes grip the mat. So my left foot feels light. I can easily lift my heel and just step that foot back until it just naturally stops, just because of this area here in the hip. Now with my leg, I'm just demonstrating with my arm. I'm turning the leg out like that. With my arm, press. So the whole foot's on the floor. I've shifted my whole body back and I'm balanced, pretty secure here in this light lunge. Go ahead and place hands on hips. Push pelvis down as you feel the torso lift and extend. Exhale, we're still engaging the core. This is constant throughout the practice. It also creates some space so we can turn to face forward. Inhale, extend the arms into the sky. Let's modify the arms. As you exhale, bend elbows to about 90 degrees like this. So this is our modification of Warrior One. Still balanced on 2 feet, but we have a little bit of distance between the feet. So I'm not sitting back, I'm not sitting forward, but really finding that center. Inhale, extend the arms up into the air. Exhale, arms come back down. Go ahead and bring them to your hips. Lean forward now to put weight into this front foot. Lift the left heel So you can just easily just step feet together, back to mountain pose. So let's inhale, extend the arms into the sky. This is extended mountain pose. Exhale, arms return to your side. Very nice. So getting ready for the second side, our Warrior One variation. Soft knees, shifting weight into the left foot, nice grounded sensation, thigh activation. Leaning forward just a bit, grip the mat with your left set of toes. Right foot is light, I'm lifting the heel, tapping the right foot back until it naturally stops. Turning that right leg out so I can plant the heel into the floor. Balanced here. Let's place the hands on hips, pushing pelvis down. And feel the torso rise, making that space around the belt line so we can turn to mostly face forward, just same direction as the left knee and toes. Inhale, extend both arms up. Exhale, modified arms, bend elbows 90 degrees. Let's pause here. Couple of breaths. Tune into your balance. Opening through the heart. Exhaling, engaging your core. Inhale, extend the arms into the sky. Exhale, arms down to your side. Once again, place hands on hips. We're going to lean forward, put weight into this front foot so you can easily lift that back heel, and then step feet together. Extended mountain pose as you inhale, reaching into the sky. You can even look up. Then exhale, look forward, arms return to your side. Very nice. Little circle of the shoulders here. Very nice. If you go backward, go ahead and go forward too. All right, let's just do one thing. I just want to demonstrate something because it will happen in our shoulder stand posture, one of the variations. And I want to turn around for this so you can see what's happening. So just follow me. Let's inhale, extend the arms into the air. Exhale, bring the arms out and down slowly. But as they come down, reach behind you like this. So reach. Let me turn sideways so you can really see this. So I'm really reaching back like that. Active hands. Even feel like you're holding on to something between the hands. Now here's what we're going to do. You're going to place the palms right at the belt line, actually right below the belt line with fingers pointing down right there. And as you're able, roll the shoulders back. They may not go back too far, but that's okay. So just placing the hands here. Okay. Now I'm having you do this for a couple of reasons. One, it's another nice opening through the chest and shoulders. But in our shoulder stand, when we are upside down, we'll be doing the same hand placement. In a way, you'll actually be sitting in your hands. So let's just mimic that. So inhale, just open up through the chest as best as you can. Exhale and just take a seat right here. Just bend the knees and feel like you're sitting into a chair. And your hands are right at the top of the buttocks there. Now imagine being upside down. It's probably hard to do that in this posture, but you'll get a good sense when we're actually in the pose. This is where your hands will be, and you'll literally be sitting in your hands like this. All right, let's free the hands. Let's inhale, stand up tall, reach both arms up into the air, and exhale, arms return to your side. And if you'd like, another shake of the arms and shoulders. Okay, let's go through our full sun salutation. Of course, we like to break it down. We'll do the second version of Warrior One, we'll add a Warrior Two, and we'll add on from there. Here's mountain pose. Take a breath. Let's move. Inhale, extend both arms out and up. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, sit back into the imaginary chair. Belly comes down towards thighs. Hands release, head releases, look between the knees. Inhale, slide hands up to the shins or knees, extending through the spine, that halfway lift. Exhale, now we're folding back down. Bend the knees quite a bit so you can reach the floor with your hands and walk both feet back to the back end of your mat until you're in plank pose, the top of a push-up. Right here, if your hips are a little high, just lower them, but not too low, maybe to shoulder level. Push into the earth, strong arms. Feel like your hips are being lifted. Nice and strong, another strong posture. We're still engaging core here too. Let's breathe in. Exhale, bend the knees, engage core, send hips into the sky. Here's our down dog. Chest and head sink naturally between the arms. I am going to tiptoe forward just a little bit to adjust my pose. Ready for our second version of Warrior One. Let's break it down. I like to start by stepping the left foot more towards center on the mat for balance. Pick up right foot. Then inhale, extend right leg straight back, straight as can be. Exhale, bend the knee significantly. Bring the knee in underneath you towards your chest, shifting your whole upper body forward until your shoulders are over your wrists. And we'll set this right foot down, just the toes. Heel is lifted. And we'll set the left knee down. You'll feel that the weight is forward. You can see my shoulders are over the wrists. Let's pull away, pull back. So your hands are light. So you can free your hand, your right hand, go get your right foot and bring it up a little higher on the mat. Replace the hand, put weight in front, lift that back knee, shift the weight back again. We're going to turn that left leg out so I can plant the heel into the floor. Walk the hands back, even to behind the heel of this front foot, so it brings energy back this direction, putting weight into the left foot there. I like to climb up the body, bring hands to thigh. That way I can extend the spine. About 45 degrees here at this angle. Free the arms by reaching forward or out to the side. Inhale, rising up until you're facing directly forward, reaching both arms into the air. And exhale, just finishing the lunge. Here's Warrior One, second version. So much more distance between the feet. Arms are straight up into the air. Ready for Warrior Two. Breathe in. Exhale, turn torso towards left side of the room as your arms come down to parallel. Right there, really reach. I need to justify or modify this left leg by turning the left leg out. There we are. And so I just feel a bit more open in the hips, both sides. Right knee, nice lunge. There we are. Let's add another pose, side angle pose. Reach forward, an angled upper body, kind of 45 degrees again, up top, just sideways. And rotate the arms. I'm going to bring my right hand to my thigh while my left hand reaches straight up to 12 o'clock on an imaginary clock. Nice opening here. All these standing postures. All right, breathe in and exhale. We'll carefully turn towards the floor. Free the hands, fold, bring the hands to the floor, rise up onto tiptoes behind you so that it squares out the hips. Push into the floor with hands, strong straight arms, so you can slide or pull that right foot back to meet the other plank pose. Take another shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, chest and head sink between the arms. I'm taking a tiny tiptoe forward to adjust my pose so I feel more settled. All right, let's get ready for our second side. Remember, down dog is considered, or it can be considered, an inverted posture. I'm going to step my right foot to center for balance, pick up left foot, inhale, extend left leg into the air, straight back. Now we're getting closer to being completely upside down. We just only have one foot in the air. Now exhale, bend left knee, bring it in underneath you towards chest, shift forward so shoulders are over the wrists, set left set of toes down, right knee down, pull back so we have less weight or no weight in the hands. Let's go get the left foot, bring it up higher on the mat. That will create that distance between the feet that we want. Replant the left hand, lift the right knee, pull back, right heel turns, place it on the floor. Step the hands back so they're at heel level right there, putting more weight in that back foot. This is establishing that balance we need. Walk up the leg, bringing hands to mid-thigh. Push to help you extend through the torso, about 45 degrees. As you're able, free your arms, reach out or forward and up, inhale. And exhale, finish the lunge. Here's our second version of Warrior One on the second side. Nice reaching feeling. Here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, turn torso towards the right side of the room as your arms come down to parallel. Really reach out. Modify the feet as you need to for greater hip opening and even more balance. Side angle pose, we're reaching out over the left knee to create this 45-degree angle up top. Rotate the arms and just bringing left hand to thigh just for support while right arm reaches straight up into the air. Nice opening through the whole front body, and I'm getting a light stretch through the right side of the body as well. A couple more breaths here. This could be considered a variation of side angle pose. If you've seen pictures of this posture, this left hand would probably be closer to the floor, if not touching the floor. But we're up higher. Let's breathe in. Exhale, carefully turn. Free the hands, fold. Hands to the mat. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Energy in the hands and arms. Push, lift the hips. So you can slide this left foot back. Here's plank pose. Strong bodies. And let's bring knees to the floor. Very nice. We're going to sit back briefly into hero pose. And then sit off to the side. And swing the legs around to the front. All right, let's briefly return to staff pose. So we can get the energy in the straight legs while seated. Pressing hands into the mat, lifting chest, lengthening through the spine. As you're able, squeeze shoulder blades back. Long neck, look forward. A couple breaths here. Paying attention to the exhale to engage your core. We're going to do a forward fold from here just to get a little stretchy in the legs. So follow me. Inhale, extend the arms up into the air. Exhale, just hinge forward a little bit. You don't have to go too far. And just bring the hands down. It doesn't matter where they land on the legs. Now, we certainly could use a strap. If you have one, go ahead and wrap a strap around the feet. But if you don't have a strap, hands can just rest on the shins or knees. Inhale, keep lifting yourself up to extend the spine at this new angle. Exhale, either stay here because this might be enough of a stretch, or if you're able, maybe just taking one small step forward, down the legs with the hands, hinging forward a little bit. Now for me, this is pretty significant. I'm at a good 70% in this pose. I feel this. Again, you can bend the knees. You could lower the chin and round your back if you want to go lower. By doing those modifications, it doesn't put any extra pressure, hopefully, on the body as you fold. Remember, in soft flow, we like to work between 60 and 70% when we move into our postures. That way we can get the full benefit of the pose while staying longer in the postures, so it doesn't feel like we're forcing or pushing our bodies too much. Alrighty, ready to come back up? If your back is rounded, let me just demonstrate. Again, just lifting chin, re-extending spine. Again, you can place hands or fingertips on the floor to help press and lift yourself up until you're tall. Let's quickly just take the stretch out of the legs by coming back to cobbler's pose or bound angle, bending the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. We're still going to sit up tall. Alrighty. Let's get ready to lie down and extend the legs up into the air. Scoot forward so you're sitting in the center of your mat. Carefully roll down and back and bring knees to chest. Why don't we throw in a bridge pose first, since we typically do that. You're going to set the feet onto the floor. Be sure your books or blocks, whatever you're using as those props, are nearby, or even that cushion. The cushion's fine for this one. But we're going to start with bridge, our back bend. When you're ready, breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engaging your core as you put your body into motion, lifting hips into the air. Take your books or blocks or cushion, slide it underneath you to sit. Settle, relax even. Adjust the feet, even adjust your shoulders. I like to get the shoulders a little bit underneath. Here, just like what we did earlier, when I had you bring your arms down and back behind you and placed your hands on your hips, on your low back. Kind of similar here, just some opening in the chest and shoulder area. Now we will be coming back to this in a moment, meaning we're going to be coming back to sitting on a prop. But as we start the leg extensions, we're going to do them flat on the floor. 2 more breaths. Nice opening through the front body. This is a nice counter pose as well. Thinking of chair pose. We're just sitting in a chair and just kind of regular everyday living. We're seated. We're rarely in back bends. And so doing back bends in yoga, something opposite from sitting. So a nice counter pose. Just like when we go upside down, a nice counter pose to standing. All right, root or press feet into the floor. Lift. You're going to feel some engagement in your hamstrings and glutes. That's a good thing. Move your props out of the way and then slowly return to the ground. All the way down. Okay, let's start with one leg extension. Okay, first I'll extend the left leg onto the floor. Flex the foot so it stays active. Draw right knee into chest, flexing the foot. We're going to extend this leg into the air. Again, we're not using a strap. You may use a strap for this. You might start here with knee bent, wrap the strap around the foot, and then extend. If you're not using a strap, just straighten the legs as best as you can. Just hold on to the back of the leg. Maybe it stays bent. That's perfectly fine. I'm able to extend a little bit more, but you don't have to. Keep a light flex in both feet. So the left leg on the floor, very active. Right leg in the air, flexed, very active. I'm also getting a nice hamstring stretch. Now, we're starting these upside down postures. Okay? We're going to inhale, feel the length through the spine, even though we're lying down, but also through this extended leg in the air. Exhale, engage your core. This too is helping to maintain this leg in the air, especially if we decided to release the leg and hold it there on its own. It's not only leg strength, it's core strength. Okay, we're going to bend the right knee. Bring that foot back down to the floor. Just feel the body relax. Go ahead and extend that leg out onto the floor. Relax completely. Well, we're ready for the other side. So we're going to keep the right leg on the floor, flex the foot. Let's bring the left knee into chest, flex the foot lightly. These don't have to be too strong. And begin to extend the leg in the air. Again, it's okay if the knee stays bent. Maybe this is your extension right here. But we're breathing. We're inhaling to feel the length through the torso and both legs as best as you can. Exhaling to engage core. And you can even try releasing the leg so it's just suspended in midair by itself. You're going to feel the leg engage, but know that your core is also engaging to help hold it in place. A couple more breaths here. I'm just going to fully extend my leg. Paying attention to my breathing and core engagement. All right, one more breath. Let's bend the knee, place the foot on the floor, re-extend that left leg onto the floor, and completely relax. Alrighty, now we're just going to start to build our way up. We're going to start by continuing to lie flat on the ground. We're going to extend both legs in the air. All right, let's bend both knees. Feet still on the ground. Bring both knees into chest. Hold. Lightly flex the feet and then extend the legs up. Perfectly fine to keep a bend in the knees. Also hold on to the legs. A strap can come in handy if you want to use a strap. Breathe. Inhale for the lengthened torso and the legs. Exhale, engage core. Remember when we were seated in staff pose, and I said we were going to be lying on our backs with our legs extended in the air. Here we are. I'm going to extend my legs a little bit more. I can feel a bit more activation in the legs or even shaking a little bit. I'm engaging my core on the exhale and even freeing my hands away from the legs. Okay, and this is one version of being inverted. One more breath. Bend the knees, set the feet onto the floor, feel the body relax. Alrighty. Now, my cushion is really far away, so I'm going to roll to my side and press myself up so I can go get my cushion. So this is the next version. So we'll be seated on a prop. It could be your blocks, but if you have a cushion that's soft but has some firmness so it supports you, use that. In this case, it's my bolster. So I'm going to have it right next to me, ready to go. Alrighty. So setting ourselves up as if we're going to do bridge. Inhale, fill up the lungs. Exhaling, engaging core, but also lifting hips into the air high enough to bring your prop underneath you. For me, it's my cushion, and then I can just sit. We're going to do the exact same thing, extending both legs into the air. Let's lift the feet, bring the knees in. This is already feeling good. The cushion's nice because, again, it just feels well supported, but you're also lifted. And then extend the legs. And I can even feel like my legs get even more extended easily. And I think that's because the hips are up already. Alrighty, and I can even feel like my legs can go slightly behind me. That just adds a little bit more of a stretch in the legs. This feels really good. Let's go back to breathing, inhaling to lengthen through torso and the extended legs. Exhale, engage core. If you're holding on to the legs, that's fine. If you can, free the legs, maybe placing the arms down onto the ground. Let's hold here for a few more breaths. So we're moving towards our shoulder stand. We're not quite there yet. We're doing a variation of the posture. This can also be considered a relaxing pose. It may not seem like it, but what would make it relaxing is if we were actually doing what's called legs against the wall. So basically, we're seated right up against the wall and the legs are up the wall, just resting on the wall. And then you can kind of relax. 2 more breaths. Let's bend the knees. Bring the feet to the floor. Press feet into the ground so you can lift the hips and remove your prop. Bring the hips back down. Let's do something here. Bring the legs together, like so. Feet are still on the ground, knees bent, but take the knees out to the side, opening up the legs. So the soles of the feet can still touch, but legs open. We're just getting that stretch out of the straight legs. So the hamstrings can kind of relax a little bit and get a little hip opener. We're going to get ready for shoulder stand. All right, again, I'm going to roll to my side and lift myself up just a little bit. I need to adjust my mat and then adjust my body on the mat. So I'm going to scoot down a little bit more towards the first third of my mat here. So I'm going to roll back and let the legs go up into the air. Watch me first, and then I'll do it again. You can do it with me. But I just want you to see how this momentum can potentially get you into the pose. I'll show you another version of getting into the posture as well. Okay? So I'm just going to carefully roll back with a little momentum. I use my elbows to press into the floor to lift my hips and just catch myself in my hands. My hands are right up my low back with some extension in the legs. So this is the variation of shoulder stand. Okay, shoulder stand would it be here for the full posture, but we're going to go here, sitting in the hands. Okay, I'm going to roll back down. Here's another way you can get into the pose. It might be a little trickier, but I'm just lying on my back, lifting hips, getting hands underneath, and extending the legs into the air. Now that takes a little bit more energy and strength to get here, okay? So I might recommend the rolling version, okay? So come up here, sitting in the front third of the mat perhaps. We're gonna roll back, and as the momentum takes you back, let the legs go up into the air. Hips will start to lift, but use the backs of your arms to push into the floor, okay? to lift the hips and make sure your hands are like a tray, and you'll have your hips land in your hands. I'm going to do it again, and then you can follow. So a little momentum. I'm exhaling. Roll back. There's my elbows. Push, catch. Right there. Now, once you're here, hopefully you've made it here. And if you can't maintain the pose, no worries. Just roll right out of it, okay? Because we are upside down, sometimes this is not comfortable, okay? So if you are here, or if you keep returning here, which is good, okay, my elbows and arms on the floor just keeping me propped up. My hands like trays. I'm sitting in my hands. Remember, I demonstrated that earlier. At the moment, my knees are bent. My legs can actually be kind of relaxed because I'm just sitting in my hands. I could activate this by straightening the legs, even flexing the feet or pointing my toes. Now, this is as far as we're going to go with this. A full shoulder stand would be a different position of the hands. They would be more towards the mid-back. That way the hips would be free and I can extend my legs straight up into the air. What's also nice about this variation of the pose is that my neck stays quite mobile. There's no pressure in the neck, which is great. In the full version, there's a little bit more compression in the neck and spinal area, and sometimes it's not very comfortable. So this is a great version to try. Okay, if you're still in the pose, wonderful. If you needed to come out of the pose too, that's wonderful too. You're paying attention to your own body. All right, one more breath. And then the exhale, I'm just going to sliding, rounding the body, rounding the back to roll back down, bend the knees, feet to the floor. Feeling the body settle. Alrighty, so that was our inverted posture, shoulder stand, the variation. Now that was a lot of flexing in the hands. So what you may want to do here is do a counter stretch for the hands and wrists. If you can see my hands, I'm just pressing the tops of my hands together. A little movement there, a little shake to remedy that. Again, a counter pose, since they were forcefully flexed this way because your body was sitting in your hands, so the wrist can get a little fatigued. And so just counter that sensation. All right, let's draw the knees into chest. Let's take a twist. Let's take both knees over to the left side, my right arm out to the right side, and it creates a nice twist in the spine. So we're moving through our final sequence here. Coming to the close of our practice. Now, I may attempt to do legs against the wall as my Shavasana. We'll see how things go. Because as I mentioned, legs against the wall can be considered a relaxing pose, even an alternative to Shavasana. Couple more breaths here. I'm lifting the knees, coming back to center, pause, and then taking knees to the other side. Left arm to the left side, creating that nice twist. Still breathing with intention. Listening to the sound of your breath. You might even still be lightly engaging the abdominal lock, which is also quite effective, especially in a twisting posture. When you feel complete, you can return to center. Set the feet onto the floor, continuing to feel the body relax. And then as you'd like, Shavasana, just extending the legs out in front of you. Arms down by your side, let the feet and legs relax, melt into the earth. This, of course, can be the end of your practice, your moving practice, moving into this meditative state of mind and body. But I'm going to attempt to do legs against the wall. You can watch, you can even follow. I'll break it down so you can see and hear how I'm getting into my pose. So I just happen to be near a wall. I just need to move some props here. Got some yoga mats here. Move those to the side. I'm going to bring my yoga mat over right here, right to the wall. Now, I'm going to be turning away from you for a moment. So I'm turning away, but what's happening here, I'm going to bring in my cushion because I think this might help. So I'm sitting sideways, all the way up against the wall. So my hip, my shoulder, right up against the wall. Now I'm sitting in the center of my mat, but I need to scoot forward. Right there, okay? And so what's going to happen from here is that, actually I need to do this differently. Lie on your side, in this case my left side, and imagine you're sitting on the wall. So again, close to the wall, okay? And then all I have to do is just kind of swing my legs up against the wall. That way my hips, glutes, everything are touching the wall here. And so you can just have legs against the wall. You're fully on your mat, just like this. Now, you could have a cushion. Let's see if I can get my bolster underneath me. If you need a little extra support, and all I had to do was just put my feet on the wall and just lift my hips and get my cushion. There. Oh, yes. And the legs don't have to be straight here, especially if you're sitting on a cushion. You can just have a slight bend in the knees. My hands are just resting on belly. Very relaxing. Remember, getting upside down can be very therapeutic, very useful and beneficial to the body. As I mentioned, it can help to calm down your body, lowers your heart rate, your pulse, activates the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's kind of counter to the sympathetic nervous system, in which case that activates your fight or flight when you need to act and move quickly. Parasympathetic is the rest and digest system, helping you to calm down and to easily digest your food. If you made it to legs against the wall, or if you're still in Shavasana or any other restorative pose, feel free to stay there as long as you'd like. Even as I end the practice and come to seated, you're welcome to stay in your restorative pose. No need to move just yet. Just pay attention to your breathing, the feeling and the sound of your breath. If you're upside down, it's going to have a different sensation. You might even feel a little tingling in the legs. Another benefit of elevating the legs into the air, you're certainly elevating the feet. So if you have a little bit of swelling in your feet or ankles, this just starts to, because of the force of gravity, brings that weight away from the feet. When you are ready to move, take 5 slow, deep breaths.
giving a signal to your brain that you're getting ready to move. And since I have legs against the wall and I'm sitting on my cushion, I'm just going to carefully push feet into the wall so I can lift my hips and slide my bolster out of the way. Come down carefully. And then I can roll to my side. And then press myself up to seated. Sitting up nice and tall, taking a few deep breaths. I can feel the change in my body after being upside down. Good. Hopefully feeling relaxed, centered, and grounded. And once you are in seated, feel free just to keep your hands on your lap or on your knees, or bring hands to heart center. Taking one more full and complete breath in and out. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.